Hey, Auntie Corina here. I want to say hi, and here's another amazing tip that I'm going to share for you guys. Now, in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm just starting this out and I'm so excited to share all this with you. So you're going to want to get on that little button down there and make sure you know when I'm coming on and when I'm coming out with new information. So let's talk about one of the biggest issues that I hear from my parents besides their kids being deaf is bedtime. The bedtime nightmare that I hear over and over and over again. And trust me, having had 2 kids and dealt with daycare for 15 years, getting kids to sleep can be a real challenge. So here are some of the things that I've come up with in my 28 years of parenting and kids and all the things that I've done. The first thing I do is I make sure I set them up for success, and I set myself up for success. Now, this can be for nap time or it can be for bedtime, but I'm going to talk specifically about bedtime because it seems to be the one that is giving parents the most struggle. Number one, you set them up for success by we have a rhythm or a routine. You do the bath, you do their teeth, you brush their hair, whatever, last potty, get them their little sip cup if they like to have that at bedtime. So that way then you prevent the I'm thirsty. And also make sure you do last potty. So you want to make sure, I don't have to pee, make sure you insist that they go and check for dribbles, as I used to say, because sometimes pee is very sneaky. And that way then it'll help also to prevent but I have to pee. And you can say, we checked. Remember, we checked. So again, you're setting them up for success and you're also keeping yourself, preventing them from coming up with all those little tricks that they're going to do to try and make you break that little routine so they can sneak out of bed and prolong that horrible sleep time. I know. Don't you remember the days when you used to fight sleeping as a kid? Now you're like, please just go to sleep. You have no idea what you're missing. Anyways, so what I do is I encourage that. I think it's super important. Now, a lot of parents kind of go, well, I already do that. And we do stories and we just do all that. Well, there's a little something that my niece has taught me that I think is just kind of that extra little, oh, here it is. We're a Dutch family, and she calls it knuffels. And knuffels are a time to really snuggle and just absolutely warm and wrap up your little one or your young one, and really just fill them up with oodles of snuggles and cuddles and kisses and just quiet talk time. So we do knuffels. So we do our story or two, and we talk about that we're going to have our story or two. Everybody gets to do that. That's the fun part. And then what we do is we have knuffels. And this is what makes my bedtime routines a little bit different than everyone else's. It's a really important time. I know there's been those days where you are done with your kids. You are just like, I am going to sell them to a gypsy. I don't ever want to hear like another word of them. I'm done. I don't even want to parent anymore. But trust me, if you do this, it's going to make a huge change. So when we have finished their stories and you put them back and you put the lights down or off, except for their nightlight, whatever their sleep arrangement is, you then bring them in close and you spoon them, or you snuggle them in face to face and you knuffle them. You hold them really close and you tuck yourself really snuggly with them. Now, you don't have to do this for 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes we do it for as little as 3 minutes. Sometimes it's longer. And it's always quiet talk. And I'll rub her head and I'll rub her back, things like that. So it's very soft, very quiet. Basically what you're doing is you're filling their cuddle bank up for the night. And it helps them to really wind down, and sometimes they even start to drift off, and then you put a kiss on their head and you tell them you love them. Or another thing sometimes my niece likes to do, she likes to have an extra kiss if she's had a hard day. We put a magic kiss on her hand and then I rub it in. We always rub it in, and that way then if she misses me, or let's say your daughter or your son misses you at night, remind them they've got magic kiss and they can put it on their face, and then they've got you nice and close. They don't necessarily have to get out of bed. Okay? So I think this is one of the things that I think that kids, I know, I don't even think this, I know kids love this. And it's always quiet. And if they do get rambunctious, you can say, well, apparently your cuddle bank is full, so I'm gonna leave now and let you drift off. You have a good sleep, I love you, and I'll see you in the morning. And then give them one last kiss, and you just gently walk up. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, your body was showing you have lots of cuddles. But you know what? Tomorrow we can do it again. And you'll kind of set them up that they can have this time, but it's not something that they're going to get even if they're wild and bouncing around. So make sure you also let them know that if they already have a full cuddle bank, that's okay. That's great and good for them. And sometimes you can just go. So play it out. You know your kids best. You can sit down and actually know whether they really need that knuffle or that cuddle or whether they don't. Now, here's the flip for those of you that have older kids. I will often, with my older niece, she doesn't want that. That's not how she's built. She just wants to read her book and basically bug off. I'm done with everybody, leave me alone. But what I do is I sit on her bed and I lean over her legs, sometimes lower, sometimes higher up. And I'll put my, just sit there and I'll lean over her. So I'm getting body contact, but I'm not actually wrapping her. She would feel smothered. So there's another way. And then we just quietly chat about, I really like that you did this, or boy, we had a nice evening, or boy, we had a tough evening. I'm so glad that we're done our day so we can do a new one tomorrow. Always, always, always end your day with a positive affirmation or a positive word for your kids to drift off with. Maybe it's been a crappy day, but you know what? I know you had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, but the best part is you never have to do it again. And tomorrow's a brand new day. Or we had an awesome day. I'm really proud of you. I'm so glad you get to take that with you to sleep. And tomorrow's another new day. Let's see what we're going to do with it. So don't ever try, please try your best to not leave them on a negative note if possible. I'm not asking you to, sort of gloss over everything. I'm not asking you to say, oh, well, you did good breathing now. I don't want you to search for something positive. It's okay to say they had a rotten day. One of the books I read with my kids, and if your kids are struggling, here's a fabulous book. It's called Christopher's Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And that's where that saying comes from. So I read it to my boys a few times, and sometimes they say, Mom, I had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I go, oh, aren't you glad you never have to do it again? Mom. That was when they were 13 and 15 years old. So know that these tips that I'm giving you, the cuddle time or the knuffle time to fill up their bank, can also translate into their teen years, and it's never too late to start. So there you go. There's my tips. Give them a cuddle, fill up their cuddle bank, put magic kisses on their hands if they need. And trust me, if you've been doing this since your kids were small, you can still do it when they're older, and it'll bring back so much nostalgia. They'll be like, Mom. So there you go. Those are my really extra special, what I feel are the missing links of sleep, from the whole bedtime routine to fill up their cuddle bag, to quiet chat, to magic kiss should they need it, and off you go, okay? There you go, moms and dads. I know you guys are already amazing parents, and my job is to get you to feel like the amazing parents that you already are. No, you can always contact me. I'm always here to help. I've got a lot of tips and tricks for you. I've got a wonderful set of content that's coming up that I can't wait to share with you. So keep on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we will see you soon. You guys have an amazing evening, and try it tonight. Let me know how it went. I really, really want to know. I want to be able to cheer you on. All right. Peace out, everyone. Night, everyone.